Okay, good afternoon all. We are from Group 6. Today we will discuss our material. The title is The Culture Terms in Translation as Culture and Translability. Okay, before we begin, let me introduce my group. My name is Sela Kamalinda and my partner Cynthia Septinaria. Okay, the first material will be explained by myself. I will explain definition of cultural and translability and definition of terms cultural and transability and cultural specific terms. Okay, the first, what is cultural and translability? Cultural and translability refers to the translation difficulties that originate from the gap between SL culture and the TL culture. In other words, cultural untranslatability is cultural terms or express that are difficult to be translated without something missing from the original message and addition to the target text. Okay, according Catword in linguistic and translatability, the functionally relevant features include some which relevant feature include some which are in fact formal feature of the language of the SL text. If the TL has no formally corresponding feature, the text or item is relevantly untranslatable. Untranslatability is a property of text or speech for what no equivalent can be found when translated into another language. A text that is considered to be untranslatable is considered lacuna or lexical gap. Okay, the second topic, definition of terms cultural untranslatability. From the terms untranslatability, according Hatim and Mundai, 2004, describe it as a relative notion, and it has to do with the extent to which despite obvious differences in linguistic structure, such as a grammar, vocabulary, and other, meaning can still be expressed across language. And according Catford in linguistic theory of translation, the term to describe translation feature which is due to the absence of the SL situation feature is relevant in the TL culture. Next, the last topic, culture specific terms. According to Newmark, there are 5 categories of culture specific terms. Number 1, ecology. It might related with flora, fauna, local winds and mountains. Different culture will have different terms of them. Many countries have local words, and thus words would be translated based on their importance in the source language. Okay, number 2, material culture. Food, clothes, housing, transport, and other. And provide this example regarding this classification of culture terms. Example, food. Gengan, which refers to the name of a traditional food with turmeric, and clothes such as a belasyu, which refers to the material used in Belitung culture to make clothes, and house or town, krambu, which refers to the name of the box made by bamboo uh, placed in the beach. Okay, number 3, social culture. Newmark divides social culture into two categories, which include works and leisure. Example works: Kulikopra, which refers to people here for manual labor in making their coconut, and leisure Petigue, which refers to the name of sport in French culture. And number 4, organization, costume, and ideas. Newmark divides the organization, costume, and ideas into 5 categories, which include political and and administrative terms, historical terms, artistic terms, and social terms. And the last 5, gesture and habits. There is this distinctions between description and function, which can be made where necessary in ambiguous cases. Thus, if people smile is a little when someone dies, do a slow head cap to express warm appreciate, spit as a blessing. Okay, I think that's all about material, and next material will be explained by Cynthia Septinaria. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Cynthia Septinaria. In this occasion, I will continue the explanation from my partner Lela Kamalinda. In here, I will explain about two topics. There are translation techniques and the importance of the concept of cultural and translatability in translation. Okay, for the first material is the translation techniques. In here, I will explain about translation techniques that proposed by Pahlavi in 2014 that can used by the translator in dealing with the non-equivalence problem in translation, especially in dealing with the cultural and translatability. Okay, the difference between culture cause many more complication for translator than do the difference between the language structure. In this case, the translator will find out some of the source language or source text that difficult translated into the target language. So the translator must understand well about the related meaning between the source language and the target language. In this case, it called cultural untranslatability. Okay, a non-equivalence problem, which in this case is cultural untranslatability, will always be present in the process of translation. And don't forget that different kinds of problem requires the different techniques. Okay, there are three most common techniques that can used by translator in dealing with the cultural untranslatability. There are borrowing, generalization, and amplification or addition. Okay, for the first is the borrowing. Borrowing is the translator tend the word or phrase from the source language. And next is generalization, is generalizing the word. And then the amplification or addition is an insert an explanation. Okay, next is the translation technique that proposed by Pahlavi. There are 9 translation techniques. First is modulation. Modulation is translation techniques that can used by translator that requires a change on the perspective and the focus of the translator in the relation in the source language. For example, the translation between English as the source language into the Indonesia as the target language. The sentence is, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Okay, in this sentence, translate into Indonesia become berbahagialah orang yang berduka cita karena mereka akan dihibur. In here, blessed are commonly means diberkati, but in this case it means berbahagialah. And those, it commonly means mereka, but in here it means orang. So in this case there is the change on the lexical perspective. Okay, next is transposition. Transposition is the translation techniques in the grammatical categories. And next is the amplification. Amplification is the translation technique that can use by translator or interpreter to explicit the implicit information in the source language. And the next is literal translation. Okay, literal translation is the translation techniques by translating the phrase or the word literally. And the next is addition. Addition is the translation techniques that can use by translator by adding some element in the source language into the target language. And then next is the omission. Omission is the translation technique by omitting some of the elements in the source language to the target language. And then omission. And then natural borrowing. Natural borrowing is the translation techniques that the translator borrow the phrase or the word straight into the source language. And then reduction. Reduction is the translation technique that reducing some of the elements in the source language into the target language. And the last is the generalization. Generalization is the translation technique that use the general term from the source language into the target language. Okay. Next material is the importance of the concept of cultural untranslatability in translation. Okay, cultural untranslatability is important in translation because this problem always be present in the process of translation. So the translator have to understand well about how to overcome the cultural untranslatability. And don't forget that translation is not just translated, but in here it's the key of requirement is the naturalness. And the concept of cultural untranslatability is important in the great difference of cultures, because without dealing with this we cannot attain the naturalness in the for intention of the source language. Okay, I think that's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.